red, blue, purple light. Friends, red, blue, purple light. Friends, facts, red, blue, purple light. Friends, red and blue, purple light. Friends, facts. You can get to know the ledger, sacrilegious Sunday to melanin Monday. You can get to know the ledger, my love. Just open your third eye on Thursday. Lord, the food, the art, the clothes, the Vatican's getting exposed fast. We put the show on the road. You better stay on your toes. I was till the land focused on the ego. Then I opened my heart, let go of the ego. Grand after grand, we're stacking up these C notes. Facts, facts, yeah. We gon' put this shit on our backs. Facts, facts. We in your city, pull up where we at. Facts, facts. Peace, love and light. Peace, love to the family. Peace, love and light to the family. Peace, love and light to the family.
These days and time, black man, is going to be the time that you have been waiting for. You came here for a reason. Whatever pressure, whatever adversity, whatever the fuck you feel, I don't know what you feel, but whatever you may be feeling is going to push you and it's going to provoke you and it's either going to make you or break you, similar to how pressure busts pipes or the shit makes diamonds.
Peace to the family, peace to you and yours. Peace to the family, peace to you and yours. Welcome to another episode of Third Eye Thursdays. You are now rocking with the best. Yes, this is your host for the evening, Brother Red Pillar. And that song that you just heard, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gods and goddesses, Moors and Moabites, that's the Facts remix by the 44 Top. All right, give it up. Shout out to the 44 Tops. Look, how we sound on the audio. Let me know how we sound on the audio. All right. TGIF and type shit, you know what I mean? TGIF type shit. Thank God it's Thursday. TGIT, you know? It'll be Friday in a few hours. All right, now we loud and clear. All right. Welcome everyone. Greetings. Good evening. How is everyone doing? Hopefully we good. You know what I'm talking about? We was just in the building last night for Wisdom Wednesday. Shout out to everybody that pulled up for Wisdom Wednesdays. Yeah, we was in the kitchen with the stir fry, whipping up the pots and whatnot, and we shall continue to cook tonight. You know what I'm talking about? We're gonna serve some plates of food, some food for thought. We're gonna have a great build tonight. I haven't decided the title of the show, but you know how we do, and we're organic. We get to the title in the midst of the show. I don't like it to be pre-made. I like it to be freshly cooked. You know what I'm talking about? So yeah. How was it? How was the temperature where y'all was at? I'm in Atlanta. The weather was nice today. It was hot, but it wasn't too hot. You feel me? It was nice. It was a good, the sun is feeling good this summer. That's all I could say. The sun is feeling good this summer. When I was in New York, boy, oh boy, that sun was beaming. Woo! But, it's summertime. Shit, it's doing what it's supposed to do, right? Last time I checked, summertime's supposed to be when the sun is out. So, we outside, and I just want to say shout out. Let's go ahead and do the roll call. Let's do that. Let's get the roll call in, and then let's get to the show. We got New Orleans in the building. Shout out to New Orleans. We got the UK in the building. We got Florida. We got Connecticut in the building. All right. It's hot in Connecticut. All right. H-Town. I already know it's hot out there. San Jose in the building. What up, though? We got Detroit, Greensboro. We got Charlotte in the building. Detroit. What up, though? All right. We got Connecticut in the building. Indy in the building. Columbus, Ohio in the building. Duval. Yeah, I'm still seeing pictures from Duval Day. And we on Thursday. They still got pictures coming out. Spartansburg, Cincinnati in the building. We got Ohio in the building. Charleston. Flintstones. We got New Hampshire in the building. Milwaukee in the building. Bishopville, South Carolina. San Jose. Philly in the building. South Crack in the building. VA in the building. Indiana in the building. Raleigh in the building. Delaware. Flatbush by way of Georgia. North Kakalaka. New Bedford. All right. Vegas is in the building. Rochester. Los Angeles. Indiana. AZ up in this thing. Jersey by way of BK. Okay. College Park. You already. Mississippi. All right. Wichita Falls, Texas. What up? What's happening? Jersey. South Carolina. New Jerusalem. Cincinnati. We got Moyoc. Okay. Modesto. All right. The family in the building. I must say, the family, we outside. The family in the bed. The grid is lit tonight. Shit. Yeah, I don't have nothing else to say. I mean, the ghost kitchen is activated. You know what I'm talking about? Let's go. You know what I'm talking about? Let's go. You know what I mean? We locked in. If I ever did rope, and you know what's crazy? This is a fun fact. I love throwing random facts out there. The very first video, you can ask Baba TV, Baba Every Time. The first video that I did with him, it was I believe it was on his channel, and it was me and Cenat, and it was like our reunion video. It was like our first video that we did together after many years of not working with each other. This was in like 2014, and it was called The Conscious Roll Call. How many people have ever seen The Conscious Roll Call? And in The Conscious Roll Call, we just shouting out different organizations, different teachers, you know what I mean? Just showing unity and whatnot. Just showing how powerful the collective is as a collective versus by themselves. So, shout out to The Conscious Roll Call, and shout out to everybody in the building, you know what I mean, who's here tonight. You could have been anywhere else, but you tapped in with the family, the KTL family. So salute. Make yourself welcome. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that share button. You feel me? Yeah. The roll call is not only poetry. Look, the roll call is spiritual. You feel me? I ain't sending out no flyers and telling people, hey guys, this is very organic. I like it like that. I like it like that. I like it to be like that. Because when people pull up, they're where they're supposed to be. Everybody's where they supposed to be. Just leave it at that and whatnot. So, man, as we did yesterday, tonight we got a lineup of different video clips. We will have a lot of social commentary on numerous topics. This is Third Eye Thursdays, and I believe that our third eyes are very awake this Thursday. So we're going to talk about some things and whatnot, go down the information highway. We'll have some words from our sponsors, and we will also have some announcements. All right. We'll also have some announcements to make.
Oh, why not just think of 30? Fun became the sacrifice.
So, yeah. Let us get to it. Enrico Greaves. Okay. Trump was spilling the beans on the UFOs again. Is that right? That one missed me. They pulling the UFOs out to stop from the Epstein talk, I guess. They go into the whatchamacallit. They going into the bag and whatnot. So let us get into the some of this information about this and I want y'all to see this too, right? This story right here is very important. I'm gonna start it out with this story because this is a telltale sign that the information that we've been talking about for months has shown in real time a demonstration, right? Pop Mart, a company that you probably just heard of recently. Let's put this all into perspective. Let's put this all into perspective, right? Me personally, I believe I just heard about Pop Mart as a big toy company. But this doll has garnered so much, not just attention. It's one thing if it's attention, it's another thing if there's sales taking place. You understand? This is a phenomenon. The Labubu doll, right? Pop Mart is now more valuable than the 3 global toy giants combined. And DJ Georgie Porgy said, "What's that?" Right? That's not even a part of his cultural zeitgeist. He's like, what the hell is that? What the helly? Do you understand what I just said? I didn't say that it's having a meteoric rise and it's in the league to catch up with the big 3 and it's on the way. No, it's bigger than all 3 of them combined. When I talked about fantasy complex industry and when we talked about the toys being a multi-billion-dollar industry, literally, this is what I was speaking about in real time. You got to be selling a lot of toys for your company to literally be bigger than all 3 of the big 3 combined. Do you know what the big 3 is, family? I don't think you understand what the big 3 is and what they're selling. Right? So this is just a snapshot of where humanity is in 2025. When we look back, in the midst of everything is Pop Mart China based. My G, do birds fly? You know it's China based. A lot of this is based off of manufacturing also, right? Remember, these companies, a Pop Mart is a little bit different than a Mattel and a Hasbro because Mattel and Hasbro probably have to go to China to get their stuff made and they get sent to the United States and then they make their profit. Pop Mart is in China, right? And the Labubu doll more than likely costs 10 cents to make. And they're probably selling, I saw them sell one for $1,000, a bigger size one nonetheless, but they're selling like those little ones for like 2 and change. What is the going price of the Labubu doll right now? And you got adults wearing it You got children wearing it. You got people around the world wearing it, right? We are in a global market. We are in a global market. This is not something that's necessarily a bad thing in a sense. However, these are demonically possessed dolls, allegedly. That's what they're saying. What does it do? The fact that it said that it's a possessed doll, that's what it does. Alexa, play Annabelle, right? So in 2025, once again, a little snapshot of where we are in humanity, right? In the Kali Yuga right now. There is a demonic doll named Annabelle on a world tour called, what's the name of the Annabelle tour, y'all? Put that in the chat. The name of the Annabelle tour. The doll is on tour, and it caught a body already, right? The doll is keeping up with the bloodhounds, with the hat count. So in the year of sinners, right, where Raggedy Ann is on a tour right before NBA YoungBoy hits the road, right? Right, you got Annabelle opening up for NBA YoungBoy. You know what I'm talking about? On a drill. Out here spinning the block. You know what I'm talking about? Getting that lick back on the handler. Getting that get back. Backdoored them. They said the body was twisted like a pretzel with no signs of foul play. This is where we at right now, guys. Right? So not only is Annabelle opening up for NBA YoungBoy, a doll out of China that they said is consecrated with Chinese jinns, going global. Sell out. Pop up. Sell out. Right? On some opium shit. On some Playboy Cardi vampire shit. What's going on? You know what I'm talking about? Nigga, we are definitely in the ups. Yeah, Chucky 2.0. Chucky 2.0. It's an accessory. It goes with the belt. It's part of the bike chain right now. That's what people are wearing. But they're selling so many of them. Fuck all of that other shit. They're selling so many of them right now, right? That the company has exploded from the boo-boo. Y'all niggas better get working that show. Well, you better get working on your altars. You better get to working on your altars. Where my brujas at, man? What the fuck? What the hell? They out here cooking. We are in a very esoteric, occult, spiritual market. I never thought that I would live to see the days like this. But yeah, here we are. All of the ages are buying them. All of the ages are buying them. So when people say, when they use the word possessed, right? Somebody is being possessed to buy these dolls. So whatever the hell they say about the doll is true. What the hell? There's no reason whatsoever in all of humanity that everybody's supposed to be running out buying those dolls at this point in time in life. Unless that this shit is a form of possession. And the people are underneath the spell. You know? You never heard? We talked about La Boo Boo on this show, beloved, and I believe you were here. This was about a month or two ago. When we talked about the we were scratching the surface about Annabelle being a consecrated doll, them bringing that into the cultural zeitgeist. the minute that they bring it out into the world and they're like, yo, nigga, there's dolls that are possessed. But then you on the internet and you might see dolls in Africa consecrated and come alive. And then you be like, nah, that's AI, that's CGI, that's not real. That's dark magic. But they're literally telling you in all different regions, in China, in Asia, in Africa, in North America, this is a global thing. This is a global thing. This is not fantasy. This is a global thing that they have consecrated what they would call inanimate objects that could come to life, right? They could be animated. There is such a process of making that happen in real life, that you could breathe life into an inanimate object and bring life to it. Okay? Similar to how they've breathed life into dead presidents, what they call money or fiat. You know, the money phone. You know what I'm talking about? They put spells on that. That shit is alive. You know? You know how many is consecrated because do you know how much blood was spilled on those pieces of inanimate objects in the name of money, or in the name of religions and whatnot, and idols. So remember weird science? Remember weird science, right? Remember weird science was the programming. Another one of the movies that programmed us. Weird Science programmed us to literally, you know, it prepared us for a world where they're going to have what you already see, these AI clone, like replicas, you know what I mean? Like AI bots. They look real, but they're like AI. And then you could prompt it. They prompted Shorty. You know what I mean? They prompted her. And she came out, she was she was an OF model. Or a version of that back then when we were watching the movie Weird Science. She was the equivalent of what an OF model is to the kids these days. They did a ritual with the computer. The computer is a Ouija board. The computer is the highest form of a quote unquote black magic in this realm right now. Did y'all hear the story that Iran said that Israel was using supernatural forces to win their war, the 12-day war? We're going to get into that. Elon put the AI baddies in Grok. That's right. Elon put the AI cartoon baddies, and he unleashed the AI not safe for work. I would call them daemons or avatars through Grok. Yeah, he did that. You know, he did that. Let us continue. This case right here hasn't garnered enough information. We're going to come right back to that. Let me jump back. Let me not jump into that real quick. We're going to come back to that. Let me get into this real quick. Especially after this whole Labubu thing. Now, once again, there are people on this probably in the chat that know more of the backstory. There has to be Labubu lore, right? There's a Labubu story, obviously, why people are buying into this quote unquote phenomenon of this doll. I'm not 100% familiar with it. I wouldn't lie and said that I was. I didn't even really go ahead and do the super duper deep dive on it, past the fact that it's questionable. It's questionable beginnings and whatnot. Becky and Weird Science was fine though. Love my sisters. Yeah. Westworld, right? Right. Westworld. So they updated with the Westworlds of the world. Megan 2 and things of that nature. The movie called Her. You feel me? So it's all predictive programming. Was Labubu named after Pazuzu? Right. That is what was being implied when we covered it in its first iteration, when we brought it to this platform. We were talking about its relationship to the Pazuzu and whatnot, and the fact that, you know, these are Trojan horses. They put a big AI generated marketing campaign behind it. Okay, interested. That's the most prized one. Okay, the most prized one is the Pazuzu. Interesting. You know. But let us check this out real quick.
And it's not because we left platforms, it's because entertainment won. Social is dead, and it's not because we left platforms, it's because entertainment won. Cenat is building Streamer University, Speed stays on a world tour, and Mr. Beast is soft launching the Olympics with Beast Games. Yet brands are still giving themselves a pat on the back for having a post get 2,000 likes. We're in our entertainment era, but it came at a cost. Connection is non-existent, engagement is down and private, views are cheap, passive, and inflated. It's a new meta, and the brands and creators that are winning are format first. Think Built launching Roomies, which is more of a social show disguised as a marketing funnel, or they're stunt-led. Think like Cluely throwing a party, filming it, and having it shut down, all for the sake of cutting through the feed. Or they're co-creating with creators. Think American Eagle partnering with Casey Lewis to launch Off the Cuff so that they can reach a younger audience. Or they're leveraging AI, like BMW using an AI-generated octopus that racks up 20 million views and doesn't even feature a car. You're either building social IP that people want to watch, or you're posting content that no one remembers. The entertainment era isn't a trend, it's the new default. It doesn't mean that you're bypassing trust. It means that you're entertaining to stand out the feed so that you can build that trust. And I say this as someone that spends way too much time online working with brands to develop their IP. Let me know what you think, whether you love or hate this, but this is the new meta. And if you hate social, I don't even know why you're watching this video.
Yeah, so this whole thing with social not being what it used to be, and the rise of this whole entertainment aspect, where we live in this new age where we live in a creator economy, we live in the attention economy, but we also live in a day and age where, you know, entertainment, people want to be entertained. Young creators are taking over a whole entire market that Hollywood and billion-dollar studios used to own and whatnot. There is a humongous opportunity that awaits conscious creators, right? There's a humongous void to be filled by responsible, let me say responsible, not chitlin consciousness, not beyond chitlin consciousness, you know, not that type of thing. Not a minstrel show, but definitely something of a higher level where people are bringing the lifestyle of what consciousness inherently should look like to the world, and they open it up through streaming. You know, Cenat and Mr. Beast and all of these content creators, they are quote unquote showing that I think that they're just giving the blueprint. You feel me? They're giving the blueprint, and they're showing you the possibilities that are there, not just for what he's doing, but just the fact that people are willing to invest and, you know, and tapping into people's personal worlds, or, you know what I mean, what they got going on, their movements and whatnot, their motion, right? So for my healers that are out there, for my quote unquote people with motion, my brothers and sisters that have brands and you're moving around, for the people who are on the front lines and you have motion, you have movement, and you have action, and you have you have a team around you, you should, you know, I'm highly suggesting that you get into content creating, not just for the sake of content creating and chasing a check or trying to be popular. No, not that. That's we don't do that. No, have it for a purpose to entertain people and edutain people, educate them and entertain them at the same time. It's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. But I'm just, we're just showing you where it is right now, right? Let me see. Oh, check this out. This is my guy right here. Check this out. How many people are familiar with Pascal Beverly Randolph? In 2025, do you sign a rising rapper or streamer? You sign a streamer. Wait, you sign a streamer. I mean, I wouldn't even have to think about that twice. You definitely sign a streamer. That's I feel that the streamers are like a Trojan horse. Let's go ahead and check out this thing with okay. Right. So y'all familiar with Pascal Beverly Randolph. We're gonna tap into something, a video real quick, so people could have a better understanding as to how consciousness has been compromised and why majority of the stuff that's out there that people call new age and all of this other stuff are just a bunch of it's a bunch of BS. You feel me? It's a bunch of BS. And that alone needs to be disrupted. So that's content. That's content. But I want to touch on this article real quick with this. There was a lot of talk about Cenat and the fact that he did a stream with Target, right? He did a stream with Target, and a lot of people were offended by that because, of course, there's allegedly supposed to be a boycott on Target, right? And it wasn't the fact that he went ahead and allowed himself to be used, because that's exactly what happened. He allowed himself to be utilized as a pawn, similar to how Jay-Z and Rockefeller or Rock Nation is being accused by Kaepernick's girlfriend, along with Nicki Minaj, of sabotaging Kaepernick during his woke phase, right? So what makes it worse with this Cenat situation is the way that they responded to it, right? The response to it was very, it lacked the type of solutions or maturity or educational type of, perspective that one would expect. And it really just highlighted how much of a Trojan horse this quote unquote streamer community has become, because they're in bed with, at this point in the game, so many of them are becoming in bed with corporate America and their interests, that it's almost like because of their perceived ignorance, like they're young, so they're not supposed to be, they're not supposed to know about the boycott. They're not supposed to be political. They're not supposed to be, you feel me? And it's like, you know that that's some Europeans pulling the strings behind the goddamn, you feel me? There's some fucking, you know what I mean? Like, these people are compromised. They got the streamers kind of compromised at this point. And it definitely doesn't hurt that Cenat is not of, quote unquote, he doesn't have a certain allegiance to certain causes because he's publicly stated that he's not in alignment or in allegiance with, you know, the Black American cause like that. So once again, there's going to be more problems that are going to come to the surface moving forward, dealing with the streamer community and the fact that they're in bed with some of these small hats. It's almost like a round two of what we saw with them controlling the rappers, controlling the athletes, controlling the actors. Now they're controlling a new group of melanated upstarts, and they're called the streamers, right? They're going, and the streamers are generating per capita more, not all of them, of course, the top 1%, they're generating more than some of the rappers, right? But it's becoming a failed experiment because they're beginning to, one, beef. They're turning it into some real hip hop shit. They're mixing a lot of the hip hop shit into the streamer shit and creating a blur. Even if some of their beefs are scripted, it's blending into a point to whereas one of them might get spanked one day. And it's also very political because Aiden Ross or Aiden Rothstein, which would be, he would be like the Leor, or he would be considered like, yeah, he's giving me Leor energy in a sense, you know what I mean? In that space, you feel me? Because his real name is Rothstein. He kind of has, like, he put Cenat kind of on. He didn't put him on, but he helped him pop, right? He's one of those gooish people who are kind of like in the mix of a lot of the people. He has his hooks in many of the Black talent in those spaces. He's definitely the chief handler, right? He helped them get bags. He was the one that was, he was pushing the moist shit. He was pushing the very heavy moist energy. He was the one who was yeah, and then he came out and was like, yeah, I'm a Rothstein. It's always them, the Seth Rogen types, you feel me? The ones who always compromise. He's he's the one. All of these other characters, the neons, they're all central. He's the main character in that operation. It would point to Mr. Rothstein. Now he's beefing with Cenat currently as we speak, right? So you see the little thing. He has these niggas. He has a boxing league. So he even turned it to where he got the streamers boxing each other. He gets paid off for that. You know, the ones who change their names, exactly, right? If you got to change your name, then fam, you know what I'm talking about? Like, I know that we change our names and get nicknames, but my nigga, they all, matter of fact, let me pull this up. This is a great intersection. Because I was supposed to play this the other day. You think we change our names?
When you're extremely highly intelligent, like,
you think we change our names?
Science now shows us why keeping the right.
Wait till you get a load of this.
Let me tell you something.
I know you've urged people to move on.
The grizzle bear population.
Social is dead, and it's.
Wait till you get a load of this.
Breaking news, there has been.
Here's a subject I've already touched on, but I'm coming back to it to make some additions and some important corrections. How did a tiny number...
Bible says that this attack at the end of...
Hold on.
if Christianity were about defending a
More than 80% of Japanese goat are originally Indian goat.
the largest donor to ape,
We must have switched timelines because
Not only
I got so many.
every single Israeli prime
I
minister,
got so many damn clips. Here we go.
single Israeli prime minister has a fake name. Did you know that? I was just talking about Ben Gurion. Do you know what his original name is? It's Grun. Gruen. He changed it to make it sound more Jewish and sound more Middle Eastern. Do you know what Netanyahu's real name is? It's not Netanyahu, it's Milkovsky. I swear to God, go and look it up. You'll find Milkovsky. That's his real name. These are, remember what Israelis are. Israelis are European Jews. They don't come from Palestine, but they want you to make you believe. They want to make believe and make you believe that they come from this area, that they are indigenous to the land, that they're so Jewish, right? Even though they have no connection. So they changed their names. Here's another one. Moshe Sharat. His name is Chertok originally. You've got Levi Eshkol. Eshkol was Shklonik. So he changed it from Shklonik to Eshkol. Then you have Yigal Alon. His original name, Peikovitz. Golda Meir, Israel's first female prime minister. Her real name is not Golda Meir. It's Mabovich. Mabovich. More like mad bitch. We have Yitzhak Rabin, right? His name is not Rabin. It's Rubitsov. Are you seeing the pattern? These are Eastern European names. Not Palestinian, not Jewish, not Middle Eastern. They're Eastern European. Okay? They're not Palestinian. They don't come from this region. Yitzhak Shamir. He's a great one. You know, Yitzhak Shamir, he's on the wanted poster because he was wanted by the British police in Palestine for terrorism. But they don't tell you that. So Yitzhak Shamir, his original name is Yezernitsky. Yezernitsky. Shimon Peres, Persky. Netanyahu, I already told you, Malikovsky. I think I said Milkovsky, excuse me. It's Malikovsky. Never, you know, it's the same point. Ehud Barak is Brog. So B-R-O-G. Brog. He changed it to Barak. Ariel Sharon. His original name is Shinerman. Shinerman. He changed it to Sharon. And Yair Lapid, who's, you still see him changing posts, his original name is Lampel. So he changed it from Lampel to Lapid.
So these are called in history, when you get into any type of literature and you see the word identity stealers, when they speak about the identity stealers, who would take people, they would murder them and take their identity, similar to the movie Thomas Crown Affair, right? And also the one with Leonardo DiCaprio, Catch Me If You Can, right? They assume the identity of their victims. Mm-hmm. You know? So the latest in this quote-unquote trend of identity stealers is Aiden Ross. And Aiden Ross is a very dangerous individual in so many ways and whatnot. He has a direct line to President Trump by way of the podcasters and the streamers helping to get Trump into office. He played a big part in that, right? He's also a Rothstein, so he's playing into the Zionist agenda through all of that part with the bankers and everything. He keeps tabs on all of the melanated streamers and whatnot. And in certain ways, he can manipulate that whole market. He opened up Kick as a platform to other streamers and whatnot. He has the owner of Kick in his pocket, who is also a small hat. So yeah, they reward him for doing what they do. He's doing what they always, he's a younger version of what they do, right? Nick Fuentes, and some other podcasters, you know, those are a older type of character, you know what I mean, who have another different type of audience. Aiden Ross, he has a diverse audience and whatnot. But yeah, I think somebody said implant. Whatever the case, bought and paid for, right? Bought and paid for. He's beefing with the Breakfast Club now. He called up the Breakfast Club and kind of told them off. And then they had a little back and forth. So he was like, yo, I'm going to make sure that I shut you guys down. So he's getting to such a point where he feels brave enough to say, I'm going to take down the Breakfast Club. In case you never heard of an Aiden Ross, don't know who it is, it's a young, gooish streamer, right? Who is definitely has a lot of influence in that space. Okay. But the streamers are Trojan horses at this point. And that's not, it is what it is, but the streamers are Trojan horses. They mean well, but they're going to become more of a problem than a solution because of the fact that, the Aiden Rosses and certain other people are in that space. I feel that they're going to, because them kids got too much power and it's too much potential for them to ever wake up and to get on some real shit. It's too much that I think that they'll try to sabotage that shit from within. The brightest out of the whole bunch of them, the one who to me is the messianic one, is IShowSpeed. He's the Messiah out of the streamers. Not to take any way, there's other ones that are like that, but he's the messianic one. He has the Messiah complex. He has the Messiah, he has the Blackamoor Messiah mark. IShowSpeed. I don't care about his tactics. I know that he does some clownish shit sometimes. Doesn't matter. I'm just sharing with you what I see. I'm just sharing with you what I see. He has a authentic global appeal. He has he's garnered a global following that rivals Cenat's, Aiden Ross's, and any of those young streamers. He kind of went past the whole streamer thing. He's one of those athletes that are like an Olympian type of athlete. He's more of an Olympian athlete. He beat Ashton Hall and collapsed his career, bro. This is like in a race. He beat remember dude that be running with the water and the blue bottle and everything with the shit on his nose? Matt Brolett, you know him, you ladies. Ashton, Ashton? Huh? Ashton? Yeah, him. Yeah, he beat him in a race 4 times. And he made him cry. In HD. You know what I'm talking about? Brought the bitch out in that dude, bro. You know what I'm talking about? And he be jumping over cars and all kind of shit. Son is different. Cenat has the messianic force, of course. Can't take anything away from him. Duke Dennis has a messianic force. So Illuminati, a few of them, like those kids are very messianic. Don't let me say that they're Trojan horses to take anything away from them. It is what it is. The new generation is, they're being acknowledged. You feel me? I don't have any problem with acknowledging younger adults and sharing what I see, the greatness that I might see in them. They're just getting started. They're starting out as streamers. Where are they going to be in 10 years? Where are they going to be in 15 years? You know, what are they going to grow into? Because everybody grows, everybody matures, everybody, you know, is going to find their purpose. Okay? They're all going to find their purpose. Oh, yeah, they're in San Antonio. I saw a clip where they went to the rodeo and they were not, they wasn't feeling it. You know, the IShowSpeed tactics, not for young boys. Yeah. You know, one thing about the younger generation is they're not the same generation that we were when we were their age. They do different things than what we were doing, right? We're not the same. The things that I was into at 18, the streamers that are 18 are not into that. They're into getting some tail. They're into like getting fly. They're into, you know, hanging out with their heroes, which should be the rappers. You feel me? They're into smoking, some of them. They're into partying. They're into risen up girls and whatnot. And they're into doing foolish shit. You feel me? And they're also into trolling because they like that. Trolling is like a sport. You know that, right? Trolling in the younger generation is like a rites of passage / it's almost like a language. It's almost like a language, like certain personalities and whatnot. You know what I mean? Because some of them are emo, some of them are like, you know, outgoing. You know, it's. I'm telling you, bro. That's why they grew up on Steve-O, Jackass, ridiculousness, all of that type of stupid shit, punked and whatnot. They love those type of skits, right? They like shit like that. They like boom gang type things. They like you know, all of that Steve-O, Jackass type shit, right? There's a whole like contingency for that. They are slapstick humor. Thank you. That's what they're into. They're into slapstick humor. They're into shock jock humor. You feel me? You got to understand the psychology of the generation that precedes you. So when you see them do certain things, you're not like, oh, what's going on? Where did they get this from? Yeah, they got it from shit like that. Like, yeah, the Jackass generation. That's why you had this nigga blow his hand off the other day on the 4th of July doing dumb shit, right? They're the crash outs, right? They crash out. Joe Rogan is the father of Joe Rogan was giving them Fear Factor. Mr. Joe Rogan, who's so popular right now, he started out with Fear Factor. They're still on that shit right now, too. You know what I mean? They're still on that shit right now. They're into that's the jackass culture. That's the dumb out culture. That's the ridiculous culture. The same way that when we were coming up, we were watching Ricky Lake, we were watching Jerry Springer, and we were watching shit like that. But we knew that that was a crock of shit, and we knew that it was entertainment, and we laughed about it. But the kids in the crib or the little kids at the daycare, they were watching shit like that, and they were taking that for real life, and they were taking that for law. They had episodes on Jerry Springer where the girl slept with 30 dudes and still couldn't find her baby dad. They had episodes on Jerry Springer where men were sleeping with men. They had all of these things that were being introduced that were wild, low frequency, living like real life World Star hip hop episodes. Like the shit you see on World Star, it started out on Jerry Springer show, Ricky Lake show, motherfucking all of that shit, all the way back to the first shows, right? With my dude, the Italian dude that was super gangster, Richard Bay. You know what I'm talking about? And I'm not talking about the Moors either, nigga. Richard Bay, nigga. Morton Downey Jr. Huh? We going way back. Jenny Jones. What we talking about? Ricky Lake had the boosters on there. She had the KKK on there. Geraldo got his nose broken. Geraldo got his nose broken by the KKK. Roy Ennis snuffed Jesse Al Sharpton. They were stumping. Phil Donahue had the debates with Dr. Ben smoking rabbis. Phil Donahue had Khalid Muhammad smoking niggas. Phil Donahue had Dr. Phil Valentine in the audience. Sally Jesse Raphael. Dr. Minister Farrakhan was on Donahue cooking. I mean, god damn it. Montel Jordan. Arsenio motherfucking Hall. Like, where is that? Where is that at? We could use a revival of that. Where the hell is that? Even in the age of AI. Where's the Mauries? Not the Mauries, I'm sorry. Where's the Arsenios? Where's the Montels? Yes, Montel was naval intelligence. Montel was naval intelligence. Remember when Geraldo opened up the empty man, that was must-see TV when he was going into the fucking if he would have found some shit, Geraldo would have been vice president right now instead of JD Vance, nigga. He would have been lit. He would have been lit. Where the hell are the talk shows at? Right? Where the hell is the Donahue? Huh? With all of these cool white friends that y'all be finding in Sedona and whatnot, we don't have no Donahues. We don't have no Ricky Lake, so I could come and talk about this medallion that I'm wearing. Where the fuck, where's our friendly white host at? Not even in the podcast world. They don't even have the equivalent of Donahue, Ricky Lake, and all of these niggas in the podcast world, and everybody got a microphone. Where are our friendly white hosts at? You know what I mean? I'm not feeling no warmth from no Caucasians like I did for Ricky Lake and Sally Jesse Raphael. Yeah, y'all not even giving us Larry Kings. What are y'all producing? No, they wasn't lying when they say that the birth rate is down. Y'all are not producing no Larry Kings. Y'all not producing no Donahues. Since white people talk about clones so much, where's the Donahue clone? Did y'all discontinue that? Where the fuck is, send us a Donahue? Send us a Larry King, nigga. Send us a Bob Ross. All we got is Vlad and Adam 22. What do we do? What the fuck? What the hell? This is the thanks that we get? This is the thanks that we get? That's a TV dinner, nigga. We come from Morton Downey Jr. and you niggas gave us Piers Morgan, and you wonder why niggas is trying to check out and going, I'm ready to go to Mars. Sign me up. I want to live on a rig. 30 days on the rig, 2 days on land, nigga. Sign me up. You wondering why niggas is trying to get away. You wonder why niggas is flagging down the UAVs like, family, I called the Uber. Take me. Y'all not even cloning. We not even getting a new Jerry Springer, and y'all mad at AI. No, be mad at the fucking sperm bank, nigga. Be mad at the fucking Hollywood machine. Y'all not turning out no clones. So we gotta create a fucking a twin. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all niggas left us with Drewski and the fucking Instagram comedians. Nigga, I was watching Shucky Ducky the other day. I was watching Def Comedy Jam. God damn it. You know what I'm talking about? You niggas are not going to convince me that we don't live in a Lululemon Temu motherfucking timeline, nigga. This is a Temu timeline, nigga. You mean to tell me that the Instagram comedians supposed to replace Shucky Ducky, nigga? Come on, man. And DL Hewley is the nigga that's on the radio? That's the same person? I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. You lying to me. You know what I'm talking about? You niggas are lying, bro. This is a Temu timeline. Write to your congressman and tell him to fix the timeline. The fuck? Hamburg, quack, quack. This nigga said, Bernie Mac said, yo, a nigga had the nerve to say that apple, sweet potato pie and cootie cat and he said somebody had the nerve to say sweet potato pie and yoni taste the same. I said, what the fuck make you think I ever had sweet potato pie? Come on, man. Y'all can't, no, I refuse. I refuse. I ain't going for it. I ain't going for it. They convincing y'all that y'all are in some type of a upgrade and shit done got funnier. I'm not going for it, fam. I'm not going for it. I ain't had no pumpkin pie. I ain't scared of you, motherfucker. Like, yeah, clone that, nigga. You know what I'm talking about? Clone that. Now we getting stuck with Cat Williams arguing with nigga Al Sadiq or whatever his name is. Nigga, that's not comedy. That's not comedy. Where's the fucking Paul Mooney's at? Where's the Dick Gregory's at? Where's the Richard Pryor's at? You niggas is just sitting around waiting for a Dave Chappelle one time a year special on fucking Netflix, niggas. This is not it. Robin Harris, nigga. They robbed us of Robin Harris, bro. Even my dude, what's my dude, the white dude who used to, the chubby dude, he was on Police Academy and he used to go ape shit. Oh my goodness, this dude was a legend. This is around the time of Andrew Dice Clay. He died. What's his name? Son was a straight character. Nah, not John Candy. Of course, John Candy was crazy. Chris Farley, not Chris Farley. He was crazy too. You feel me? Sam Kinison. Sam Kinison. That's what I'm talking about. Sam Kinison was that dude, bro. Straight hilarious. No, Chris Farley was mad funny. We lost mad funny people. George Carlin was a legend. Rodney Dangerfield. Like, man, if only they knew. Okay, Bobcat was on Police Academy. Yeah, he was mad funny too, but Bobcat was mad funny. So let us continue with this with this build that we on. All right, let's get into this shit with the Theosophical Society. My dude broke this down. Check this out.
Theosophists in full society were really racist. Most of the new age stuff on social media is from them two places. They're the ones that got us thinking, well, never mind, they're why we don't think no more. But I think Blavatsky and Pascal B. Randolph had a secret war. Mr. Randolph, thank you for supporting abolitionists. Mr. Randolph, thanks for teaching Negroes to be literate. Helena Blavatsky might have copied your life story. That's according to contemporary sources. I'm so sorry. Pascal Beverly Randolph was a spiritualist who wrote about pre-Adamite man man, before archaeologists. Theosophists took this and then inspired Ariosophy, which took the concept of a root race to a new extreme called eugenics, you get it? But here's the part that I did not see, that dank memes would turn my N-words into nah-means. I'm sipping bitter medicine and feeling what happens. No ghostwriters, just Om providing spiritual wrappings. Go home.
Ha! My dude sliding. So basically, he's breaking down the fact that a lot of the shit that you see passing as new age and all of this shit that's going on, where you have all of these weird ass channelers that are talking to 6 foot tall entities with blonde hair, all of that shit is crap. That's all trash. That all is a fact of a usurping, of a coup d'etat that took place 100 years ago, when they knocked off Pascal Beverly Francis and whatnot, and Madame Blavatsky and all of these Crowleyites and these theosophical Peckerwoods hijacked spirituality. So we got to go more deeper into it and whatnot. And as a result of things like that, this is what we have in our community these days.
Line from you to the North Star. They don't want you to know that. It's a direct line from you to the North Star. They don't want you to know that. It got something to do with your spatial vertebrae. Why you think you go outside and you look up? You think you just want to look up? No, it's a gravitational pull. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I was 15 years old when I made contact with somebody from another dimension. I knew that Men in Black wasn't just a movie you thought it was. No. They're hiding amongst us. It's genius. You ever been in a fire drill? You see the flashing light they have when you in a fire drill? Yeah, that's the neuralizer. It erases your memory. What do you think Bone Crusher was talking about when he said metaplasma is oozing out of your cerebellum? What do you think he was talking about? He knew. He knew. You gotta believe in what's going on up there. They said he went to the moon. Come on, they shot it in 4K. Let's talk about it. Your body is made up of a bunch of atoms just stuck together. What do you think gonna happen when they take the atmosphere from us? You're gonna fall apart into a bunch of body beads. We're gonna be trying to put ourselves back together. Listen to me. It's the internal existence of external life that keeps us going. It's the metaplasmic gamma rays that shoot out from the sun that our brain absorbs. How many people on this planet? Yeah, 7 billion. How many stars is it? Come on. But you don't get it. You don't get it.
You don't get it.
You don't get it.
Nah, you don't get it. Y'all still sleeping on us, huh? You don't get it. You don't get it. Nah, you don't get it. And I want us to check this out too, right? This was a very interesting clip that I saw that this is something that I've an observation that I've made myself as well, right? Check this out.
People have been arguing about this for a while now, saying that it's not true, but the statistics are out and the evidence is now undeniable. Over 500 black neighborhoods have vanished in the past 45 years. America's gentrified neighborhoods have lost 500,000 black people while gaining residents of every other race. Let's get into it. There were more than 500 black neighborhoods included in the study. And today, half of these neighborhoods are no longer black. No racial or ethnic group has experienced more negative impacts from gentrification than black people. More than 500,000 black people have been pushed from their homes. Those same neighborhoods have seen more than 3 million new Latino, Asian, and white residents, with cities like Atlanta, Washington, New York, and San Francisco witnessing entire neighborhoods transform within a single generation. The Watts neighborhood in Los Angeles was 2/3 black at the onset of the 1980s. Today, it's now nearly 80% Latino. Watkins remembers jazz and gospel spilled from the street corners and murals of black icons washed over bustling sidewalks. Today, the murals of black heroes have faded from walls, and Spanish language signs now match the number of those in English. Sounds of cumbia ring louder than horn-laced jazz notes. Mr. Watkins said, 60 years later, we are in the rearview mirror, and it really feels that way because when you bring up this issue of Black American culture being erased, that we're being displaced from our historically Black neighborhoods, people say that we're making it up. They say they see Black people everywhere. But how are you telling us what we actually experience, what we're seeing happen to our parents, our grandparents? We are seeing the change. This is not a joke. I don't know why people are refusing to talk about this. This does not contribute to white supremacy having this conversation. Like, what kind of nonsense is that?
Black neighborhoods are beginning to vanish, right? Black neighborhoods are beginning to vanish. And in my humble opinion, Black neighborhoods need to vanish. Those Black neighborhoods that are vanishing played their role at the time that they needed to play. The future that we're moving into is not a Black block future. It's not a Black neighborhood future. We're moving into our land coming back. We're moving into new avenues with new names and new hoods that don't have slave masters or explorers' names on it. Henceforth, why so many floods are taking place, washing away so much stolen land and things of that nature. I just feel that time is just over. It's all good. For the places that are being flooded with foreigners and our people are being pushed out of these cities that we put so much energy into, and these cities that were geomantically put together to lock energy in, right? These quote unquote killing fields and these concrete jungles. I would say let them push quote unquote people into them and let us begin to rebuild and let us begin to repopulate and let us begin to create something anew. We're good on the experiences that we've had in so many of these cities who literally their names will not be there in 30 years. Those names won't even be there. They bound to sell these motherfucking, they bound to sell the name of a city to China one of these days. That's how desperate they're getting. You might wake up one day and they'd be like, yo, Chicago is now, come now, young How. Come now, young How. Yes, nigga, China bought it. It's called Come Now, Young How Avenue type shit. They're bound to just sell one of, like, I'm not holding on to no names and no cities. I'm not caught up in no hoods. I'm not caught up in no, I'm from this state, the South Side, and none of that shit means anything anymore. We literally are about to see some shit where continents are going to be connected in a minute. It's going to be a one whole landmass type shit. Like, there won't be no demarcation lines. Like, get off of that. That's old world, bro. We're in a new timeline. We're in a new timeline, and it's not a Temu timeline. We probably was on the Temu timeline, but we off of the Temu timeline. I promise you. You know what I'm talking about? We are slowly getting off of the Temu timeline. Check this out. Check this shit out.
System just flipped while the world was scrolling, and if you missed it, you're already playing catch up. Friday, July 11th, 7 p.m. Eastern, FedWire shut down. The backbone of money transfer terminated. Sunday, July 14th, it came back online, but not the same. It rebooted under ISO 20022, a global protocol built for programmable money, surveillance, CBDCs, and real-time tax enforcement. They call it a messaging upgrade, but it's a full-blown new operating system for money. Built for digital ID, built for tokenized assets, built for control. And while they were installing the grid, Congress quietly declared July 14th Crypto Week. Let that hit you. Same week, same date, same players. This was never about speculation. This was a setup. This was the switch. And guess what? Assets like XRP, XLM, HBAR, XDC, Algo, the ones they mocked, those are the ones and only protocols compliant with the new system. Those are not coins, they're keys. While people are still saving dollars, still trusting the system, still asleep, the new grid is already live. The question isn't when, the question is, are you on the right side of it? Drop scroll in the comments if you feel it, because this is not advice. This is a warning from the future that already activated. Your scroll is the bank. I promise you, align with it. Because scroll keepers are already moving.
Telling you, moving towards August and onward, it's going to be very crypto heavy on this show. I'm just letting you know we're going to open that chamber back up. So just get ready for that. You know what I'm talking about? Get ready for that. Y'all thought that was Rosie O'Donnell? That's the Rosie clone. If y'all saw Rosie today, then y'all would respect this young lady's face. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. She the new Rosie O'Donnell. You know what I mean? She the new Rosie O'Donnell. The shit that she's talking sounds a lot better than the shit that Rosie O'Donnell is talking. Even though Rosie O'Donnell you know, XRP is at $3.65. Shit, I remember it was at 3 cents. You know? Things are moving, y'all. Don't let nobody tell you anything other than that. Phil called it. W's in the chat for Phil Valentine for calling XRP many, many years ago. W's in the chat. Phil called it. You know what I mean? He got a lot of people by just knowing that Phil called it. Then I know hundreds of people jumped on. I know hundreds of people jumped on to XRP when they heard that. And they are positioning themselves to be good, right? Position-wise, moving forward, right? So if anybody that has appreciating crypto, you can never tell them that there's something wrong with that investment. You could never, ever, you can never try to stun on a nigga who got appreciating assets. You get your feelings hurt. You know what I'm talking about? It hit different. Look, 43 cent buy-in. It hit different. It hit different. So for people trying to say that we are not living in a new timeline, in a new reality, where your reality is going to be somewhat different than your past reality, where you were living on a fiat system where your finances did not grow and your finances were not, quote unquote, living and breathing and whatnot. You know, it hit different. So shout out to everybody that is a part of Know the Hedge. Shout out to all of our investors who jumped on early. Shout out to Chicago, Crypto Block Bully. You know, yeah, it's definitely it's about that time. There's a bull run taking place, so we're gonna get on top of that. Let's get into this right here though. So while we're going through this whole thing with Epstein, and there's been a collapse. The collapse has already taken place. The same type of collapse that you see of America's infrastructure, that the storms are exposing, these quote unquote floods, these flash floods, they're exposing the weak infrastructure of this nation and whatnot. That so many cities are flooded. New York City, Empire State, flooded. You know what I mean? Talking about looking like an ocean was in that bitch. The Carolinas, Texas. The same way that you see that is the same way that the government is collapsing, right? It is a flood of support leaving the MAGA ecosphere, or the MAGA stock market, or the MAGA cult. They're breaking off icebergs, right? They're breaking off icebergs. Okay? And quiet as kept. And the funny thing about it, this is how the thing reversed. This is how they got a reverse kick. Reverse kick, reverse kick. When he said that there is no Epstein evidence, there is no list, it didn't even exist. What he did, and I saw the quote unquote, I looked at the Google Trends and whatnot. What he actually did was a reverse, because it shot up the research and the deep diving on Jeffrey Epstein. So more people are flooding 4chan and other chat rooms and other places with the Jeffrey Epstein heavy information. I'm talking about they have compilations of all of the dirt. And when put together like a puzzle, you know, when you have pieces of a puzzle, like an 800, imagine having an 800 piece puzzle and you have like the box where it has the full picture of what the puzzle will look like if it was put together, right? But then you got all of the pieces on the floor. And then what if somebody takes the cover and hides it? So the only way that you could put that you could see the whole picture for what it's worth and the full extent of it is that you got to put all of these little pieces together. That's what was taking place with this whole Epstein thing over, let's say, the past 7 to 8 years. Because when we went to St. John's Virgin Islands, we were with the Paradigm Shifters. It was 2018, if my memory serves me correct. We pulled over and filmed Jeffrey Epstein's island that was right across from the road and whatnot where we were on. We pulled our cameras out and we was like, yo, this is Jeffrey Epstein's island right there, because I was already doing the research on him and speaking about it on the platform, right? So the Jeffrey shit goes all the way back. I mean, it goes further back than that, but people have been on this Jeffrey shit for a minute. And when I first did the research on it, that's when I was exposed to something called the rat line. They remixed the rat line and called it the deep state, right? But originally, when I was researching a European named George Webb, way back in the days, he introduced it as the rat line, and he was tying in Raytheon. He was tying in Lockheed Martin officials. He was tying in top dogs. He was going all the way into Haiti with the organ harvesting that was going on. So basically, the rat line, which they call the deep state, is basically the criminals in the government who rub shoulders with the cartels, the gangsters, the kidnappers, the traffickers, all of that type shit. They move drugs, they move bodies, they move weight, they do everything that's popping for feeding the dark web. The dark web is their internet. The dark web is 90% bigger than what you know as the World Wide Web. The World Wide Web is 10. Think about it in size. The World Wide Web is 10%. The dark web is 90%. So if it's so large, and if that's the case, who is feeding the dark web? Who's on the dark web? Who's feeding the dark web? And who's supplying all of that quote unquote food or that carnage for the dark web to function? Who is greasing the motors and the gears? It is the deep state, aka the rat line. And the rat line is the tentacles, it's like a mycelium network. It's the undergirding, it's the underworld. It is the quote unquote it's the quote unquote it's the underground, and it goes all the way to the strip clubs in Atlanta, all the way to dungeons in Tel Aviv, all the way to jungles in Africa, all the way to quote unquote jungles in Central and South America, where they're cooking up keys and keys and keys of cocoa leaves and whatnot. This shit is real. And a lot of our people, they play around in the rat line, which would be the deep state. So anytime that you're doing anything in the underworld, you are rubbing shoulders undeniably with CIA, alphabet organizations, what they will call the rat line, or what they will call the deep state now. But those are just criminals with with diplomatic immunity. Those are criminals of the government that are on black market, black ops, and they get their money in the street, or doing street shit, or fucking with street people. And they'll come as the plug, or they're the connect that the plug has that nobody can meet. All of that. Yeah, they all working. Organ harvesting, bodies, all of that shit from Texas at the border. They let them bring the work in. They bring them the children. Feel me? They bring them bodies. They let them get the work in. In Jamaica, they bring them, they kidnap they bring them the bodies. They let them get the work in. In Atlanta, they give them the bodies and they let certain things go on in Atlanta. That's the agreement. That's how it works. But they transport bodies. They're still, quote unquote, slave masters. This is still about the transport of the bodies, human bodies, that is, not just organs, humans. So human trafficking is slavery. You didn't even see the extent of how deep it goes when you thought that you was going to see it in the P. Diddy trial, when they gave him a FRICO and they misnomered it a RICO, and they were talking about transporting, and they hit him with the Mann Act. No, there's some other human transporting. There's a whole nother type of human trafficking going on that that shit would make this nigga look like a saint. So now with the ICE budget, now that they've turned ICE into a standing army, right? You just know that it's a whole new level of the rat line. It's called the rat line, right? It's misnomered the same deep state that he said that he was going to drain. He came in with a hose and filled it up. He filled the swamp up with gangsters, mobsters, criminals, killers, right? Scammers. That's what Trump did. He brought a hose to the swamp and flooded that shit. He didn't drain it. He flooded the swamp. So the NYPD, unbeknownst to many, is the premier police agency in the USA. Okay? It's the head agency. Billions in their budget. The ex-NYPD interim commissioner, right? Somebody who not a disgruntled employee, not a low level quote unquote officer who was coming up short on his or her quotas or got caught in a sex scandal and decided that they wanted to make a little bit of noise. No, that's not what we're looking at, ladies and gentlemen. That's not this. This is the interim commissioner. Okay? He's suing, saying that the NYPD is a criminal enterprise. So for everybody that got excited about the persecution of Sean Combs, rightfully so, well, goddamn it, wait till what if we're able to get, you know, because lying under oath, you see what you see what these trials produce. I'm of the thing because I'm so the Jaguar right. Gene, what's his name? Gene Deal, 607 Unk, Big Homie CC, Chitlin Circuit have traumatized me, right? I'm traumatized to the point where I'm easy to trigger. So moving forward, my information have to be court documents. I don't want to hear no more information if it's not underneath oath. That's my new shit. If it ain't, so I'm into like the shit that's on this legally this in legal documents. That's where I'm with it now. I can't do, oh, we got another video with Jaguar Wright, and she's gonna talk about the child of Jay-Z, you feel me, that works in the sweatshop of Sean John's, you know what I mean, baby oil factory, this underneath Dumbo, inside of a Dumbo quote unquote facility that you visited when they wanted you to make the quote unquote when you were on the Wu-Tang Secret album and you was doing a remix. I'm good. I'm good on that. You feel me? I'll just wait for my hot tea in court documents, because that's like stamping that shit. That's like a new type of that's like the new notary for me. That's like the new notary for me. You feel me? If it's not notarized by the DA and the prosecutor with a little bit of RICO on it, I'm good, fam. I don't believe it. I don't want to hear it. Only under oath type of information, and I'm willing to listen to. And niggas could still be lying. Do they buck teeth? You seen YSL Woody? But that's all I need now. Moving forward. Moving forward. You know? No, I rock with grits and eggs. Brother Dante. That's one of the only ones that I could co-sign and stamp. You feel me? I could co-sign them. That's a breath of fresh air. They need to clone him. You know? So this man right here is blowing the whistle, right? There's a lawsuit out. So in that lawsuit, he's saying what needs to be said, right? You already know. He said that Mayor Adams, who is an ex-police, remember, it hits a little bit harder because Mayor Adams, who is already crooked, is ex-NYPD. So he brought in his crew, and they're running the city like a racket. Okay? They're running the city like a racket. And he's blowing the whistle, right? He's blowing the whistle. So that's just a little heads up as to what's going on in that situation. I will keep you updated about that, you know what I mean? In case if they don't knock homie off or try to, you know, silence him, I'll let you know what that's looking like. But one of the biggest stories that's not going away, and rightfully so, okay, rightfully so, because it needs to stay in people's faces, is this Epstein situation. Donald Trump has put out a tweet and said that they're going to release something tomorrow. Before we get into that, though, I want to play this clip real quick.
Social is dead, and it's not because we left platform.
I want to play this shit real quick.
Fun became the sacrificial lamb of attention, and I blame marketers and the concept became the sacrificial lamb of.
Not that. I'll play that in a minute. Check this out. It's happening.
And that's one of the things that I think a lot of times boys need is not just exposure to one guy.
One dad.
One dad. No matter how good the dad
is. He can't be everything.
He can't be everything. And that boy may need somebody to give the boy some perspective on the dad.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
One of the most valuable things I learned as a guy was I had a gay professor in college at a time when openly gay folks still weren't out of line, who became one of my favorite professors and was a great guy and would call me out when I started saying stuff that was ignorant. You need that to show empathy and kindness. And by the way, you need that person in your friend group so that if you then have a boy who's gay or non-binary or what have you, they have somebody that they can go, okay, I'm not alone in this.
Yeah.
Right. So
now this nigga is dictating that you need to have a gay this nigga just, family, he knows no boundaries with this shit. He knows no boundaries. Like, is he just gonna pop out or is he gonna stay behind the motherfucking blinds? Like, my nigga said you need to have a gay friend in your immediate circle, bro. And imagine the type of influence that he has on the black liberals, the black Democrats, the people who hang on to his every word, though. Forget about us who will laugh at that shit. What about the people who's going to take his word for law? This nigga's obsessed with that shit. Check this out, though.
The sacrificial lamb of attention, and I blame marketers and the constant over-optimization of every aspect of life. From where we travel to how we socialize to how we sleep to what we eat to how we exist. And even with that over-optimization, that's really just control and a reframing of aspiration, we're still unhappy. That's crazy work. It's time we get back to fun. We need to re-enter our fun era. And the brands and creators and people that are winning are already doing this. Brands are making the shift to more entertainment versus sell. Creators are launching experiences to actually bring people together versus peddling rage bait. And people are starting to vocalize their fatigue with the over-optimization and constant performing for the algorithm. We can try to blame the lack of fun on the internet, but we traded socialization for attention. And as one of my favorite creators says recently, we need to make this return to being whimsical. And even for the people that say, oh, but rage bait and division causes attention, here's the reality. Being fun, being whimsical creates memories and creates moments. And those create opportunities to live in people's heads rent free. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
So that video about having fun, right? And fun, making a big comeback and whatnot, because there is a rise of these quote unquote running clubs. There's a rise of the bike clubs. There's a rise in all of these social movements where people are beginning to put the phone down. There's this loneliness epidemic that is gripping Gen Zs and Gen Xs and whatnot. People are yearning for some type of social setting that's not a bar, hookah lounge, or a club, right? They want to do more social things and whatnot. So I just wanted to reiterate once again that the gatherings that we've been having, or the fun that we've intentionally been having at a comedy show, at the juke joint, just hanging out, just kicking it with no strings attached, networking, the meet and greet. You feel me? All of that was intentional. All of that was built off of me understanding that, you know, we are in the age of experience and whatnot. These are some things that you will not forget about, even though you will experience your teachers through the phone in the settings of a YouTube show and whatnot. There's so much more to that. And going back to the earlier video of the fact that we don't have these communities that we used to be a part of and whatnot, but those communities have grown into other communities now. When we understand the power and of our presence amongst one another, right, or the potential of our presence amongst one another, we the people, the power is the people, that we could really build and do what it is that we put our minds to, because we're not lacking. It's not like we're coming empty-handed. It's not like we're coming without. You know, we have a bright future ahead of us. We have a bright future ahead. And when I say we, I'm speaking of those who want to, quote unquote, breach the fourth wall in so many ways, or create what are known as the network state. Take your online movement and bring it into a physical node, make it manifest in the real world. And just for the sake of trying out something new, you know, see if that experiment works or not, you know, because when you look at it, things are pointing into the direction of eventually one day you're going to be forced with the opportunity or forced with the decision to live amongst your own people who are on your own, quote unquote, frequency, those who vibrate, those who have the same mind state, those who share identical goals and whatnot. You know what I mean? Those who share a similar North Star as you. It don't got to be everybody. It don't got to be everybody. The hell? You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, things are moving at a fast pace, and that's a good thing, because you're gonna see some shit happen fast. You're gonna see some shit happen fast versus having to wait 100 years like maybe your ancestors did. No. And somebody just pointed it out the other day that we went from a period where 1% of the people knew how to read to now we're at a period to whereas the majority of the world knows how to read. They're literate. You feel me? They could understand things. They can understand concepts. The whole world is not walking around illiterate. The whole world is not walking around with their lights turned off. The whole world is not walking around in darkness. You feel me? There's a lot of people walking around with their lights turned on, and they're doing things to make shit even brighter. Okay. Real quick, before we get into this Epstein shit, I'm doing a rap battle. I got 3 different clips. I want y'all to tell me which one y'all think is the hottest and whatnot. I'm doing an AI rap battle. So clip number 1, I'm gonna play it real quick, and y'all let me know after y'all hear all 3 which one y'all want me to go with. All right, check this out.
Bruiser that understands, a eater on shrooms like Alice in Wonderland. She can spot the ops like Alice Smith. Type shit, make the phallus lift. I live in a palace on a Dallas cliff, grinding a pusher man who dumped clips on some malice shit.
That's the fast rapping. I don't know what the fuck he ain't slowing down. I don't know what the rush is, but he going.
I need a bruiser that understands, a eater on shrooms like Alice in Wonderland. She can spot the ops like Alice Smith. Type shit, make the phallus lift. I live in a palace on a Dallas cliff, grinding a pusher man who dumped clips on some malice shit.
Slow down, homie. All right, that's number 1. Super speed. All right, this is number 2.
Holding hands, golden sands, pictures in the mirror. We holding bands, golden grams, turkey bags of dog shit, molded strands.
Let's play that again.
I'm in the holding hands, golden sands, pictures in the mirror. We holding bands, golden grams, turkey bags of dog shit, molded strands.
Hey. And here's number 3.
7-day theory. If it took 6 days. Illuminati 7-day theory. If it took 6 days for God to mold a man, Anunnaki return for gold on stolen land. Andre 3.5, I'm rolling grams, rolling loud. Luke Skywalker, the twin on rolling clouds.
Hey, one more time.
Illuminati 7-day theory. If it took 6 days for God to mold a man, Anunnaki return for gold on stolen land. Andre 3.5, I'm rolling grams, rolling loud. Luke Skywalker, the twin on rolling clouds.
Oh man. They said 3 for the win. Number 3 for the bomber class. So y'all like number 3? Y'all like 3? You know what I'm talking about? Because it had the substance in it. Okay, the best. All right, the best one. I might slow it down. Let's hear number 3 again.
7-day theory. If it took 6 days for God to mold a man, Anunnaki return for gold on stolen land. Andre 3.5, I'm rolling grams, rolling loud. Luke Skywalker, the twin on rolling clouds.
He said Luke Skywalker, the twin on rolling clouds. You know, Luke Skywalker. Okay. You know he's a twin, right? Yeah. So we got turkey bags. The number, slow it down. Okay, I'll try to slow it down. I'll slow it down. You know what I mean? I'll tweak it a bit. I'll tweak it. It's only going to get better, though, from there. We just showing you real time, the work in progress. You know what I mean? Just the work in progress. So when it's a finished thing, we'll really get to see it. Because I say it again, like I said it before, always look at the AI like how you look at making a song, and then you'll understand how this thing works. Okay, a turkey bag is a bag of weed. It's the big bag. It's called a turkey bag, right? Molded strands is like the weed that's stinking. It's the Zaza. It's a turkey bag. It's a big bag of weed. So, yeah, number 1 win a lot fast. Yeah, you know, it is what it is. The earth is spinning fast, so we got to rap fast. Yeah, the turkey bag, that's hustler talk. You know what I mean? That's hustler talk. That's the hustler dog whistle. My bad. Somebody thought I was selling turkey necks. That's the hustler dog whistle, man. You know what I'm talking about? Ma'am. If somebody want to have an AI rap battle, this is one of the artists coming to my Smack URL. This is one of my artists.
For God to mold a man, Anunnaki return for gold on stolen land. Andre 3.5, I'm rolling.
Holding hands, golden sands, pictures in the mirror. We holding bands, golden grams, turkey bags of dog shit, molded strands.
That's my guy. I got a Detroit spitter too. I'm gonna debut him in another day. But you know, it's fun cooking up these worlds with these entities and whatnot and breathing life into them. You know what I mean? I encourage all of y'all to tap into your imagination, your creative faculties. You smell me? Your creative faculties.
I'm in the holding hands, go.
Illuminati 7-day theory.
Push a man who dump clips on some malice shit. They just boys, they play with little toys. I'm just poised to make bigger noise.
Uh-oh, hold on.
A pusher man who dump clips on some malice shit. They just boys, they play with little toys. I'm just poised to make bigger noise.
I like that flow. I ain't mad at that flow. That's a little laid back in the pocket type shit. You know what I mean? Shooting from the court type shit. You know what I'm saying? I ain't mad at that flow. Let me see something. Shout out to all of the KTLians in the building too. We have class number 2 tomorrow. Class number 2 tomorrow. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna take y'all on a little. We'll go check something out. Let's go on a little tour real quick. All right.
The stronger the piff, the longer I drift, the more I realize that song was a gift. The longer the shift, the world I once knew no longer exists. Good night, bitch. The longer the kiss, the stronger the piff, the longer I drift, the more I realize that song was a gift. The longer the shift, the world I once knew no longer exists. Good night, bitch. The longer the kiss, the stronger the piff, the longer I drift, the more I realize that song was a gift. The longer the shift, the world I once knew no longer exists.
Hey.
Some days I'm Malcolm, some days I'm Detroit Red. I'm what the game been missing. I'm what the gang been missing. I've been hibernating. It went from catch me outside, and now I'm cyber dating. Some days I'm Malcolm, some days I'm Detroit Red. I'm what the game been missing. I'm what the gang been missing. I've been hibernating. It went from catch me outside, and now I'm cyber dating. Some days I'm Malcolm, some days I'm Detroit Red. I'm what the gang been missing. I'm what the gang been missing. I've been hibernating. It went from catch me outside, and now I'm cyber dating. Some days I'm Malcolm, some days I'm Detroit Red. I'm what the gang been missing. I'm what the gang been missing. I've been hibernating. It went from catch me outside, and now I'm cyber dating. Some days I'm Malcolm.
Hold on, my nigga ain't spitting. Oh.
I'm a 6 of clubs. I'm in the club with my Egyptian plugs, mixing slugs that the vixens love. I'm a 6 of clubs. I'm in the club with my Egyptian plugs, mixing slugs that the vixens love. I'm a 6 of clubs. I'm a 6 of clubs. I'm in the club with my Egyptian plugs, mixing slugs that the vixens love. The fifths and snubs, they put Christian Dior on some Christian thugs. I'm a 6 of clubs. I'm in the club with my Egyptian plugs, mixing slugs that the vixens love. The fifths and snubs, they put Christian Dior on some Christian thugs. I'm a 6 of clubs. I'm in the club with my.
Hey.
We breaking the chains of resistance, a lot of gains. When the pain is persistence, a lot of change in the distance. Could you blame the resistance? Look, I got my game from Egyptians. We breaking the chains of resistance, a lot of gains. When the pain is persistence, a lot of change in the distance. Could you blame the resistance? Look, WE breaking the chains of resistance, a lot of gains. When the pain is persistence, a lot of change in the distance. Look, I got my game from Egyptians and my name from the Christians. WE breaking the chains of. Look into my eyes, who should sympathize? Incentivize, we were sent to ride. It was pimp or die, we was decentralized. We were sent to die, we were sent for fire. Fallen angels, we were meant to rise. Look into my eyes, who should sympathize? Incentivize, we were sent to ride. It was pimp or die, we was decentralized. We were sent to die, we were sent for fire. Fallen angels, we were meant to rise. Look into my eyes, who should Look into my eyes, who should sympathize? Incentivize, we were sent to ride. It was pimp or die, we was decentralized. Look into my eyes, who should sympathize? Incentivize, we were sent to ride. It was pimp or die, we was decentralized. Look into my eyes, who should sympathize? Incentivize, we were sent to ride. Could you even blame the resistance? Look, I got my game from Egyptians and my name from the Christians. Could you even blame the resistance? Look, I got my game from Egyptians and my name from the Christians.
Come on, we bopping. We steady bopping over here. I'm just in the kitchen cooking. I'm just in the kitchen cooking. You know what I'm talking about? I'm just in the kitchen cooking. This is Ray Quali. Wait, and please, let's be clear. I'm writing all my bars. We don't let AI write our bars. You know what I mean? We're gonna let the AI do all of the fancy shit, but the bars are human. That's why it's not egregious, because the bars are human. You know what I'm talking about? The bars are human. So I'm just saying, Yeah, Phil Timberlake got bars, right? I think we're gonna put Phil Timberlake out. Yo, somebody hit up Timberland. Tell Timberland to come and sign Red Timberlake to get Phil Timberlake. Yeah, I'm talking about with the turkey bag. Get Phil Timberlake. You know. Get Timberlake. You know what I'm saying? I'm claiming all of those bars. That's my pen. That's right. You know what I'm talking about? Don't judge me. Yes, I'm into holding hands on golden sands, taking flicks in the mirror, holding bands. You know when a nigga with his, you know when you with Bay and y'all taking pictures holding bands in the mirror? You ain't never did that on vacation? Y'all wasn't in the mirror holding bands? I was. I'm into holding hands on golden sands, showing off in the mirror, holding bands. No? Okay. Turkey bags. Yeah. With the grams. Type shit. But yeah, man, let's get into this thing right here. Like I said, this Jeff Epstein thing is bigger than what they are alluding to, right? It's bigger than what they're alluding to in the terms of its context. Context. That Jeff Epstein is it may be the Watergate of today. It's definitely one of these scandals that has exposed more people of a high ranking in blue blood society and in global, not politics, because it's more than politics. They have royalty, alleged. They have quote unquote financiers. They have socialites. They got billionaires. They got presidents. They have celebrities. They have people of immense power. This is the biggest case that exposes, because this is not a regular case. This is a Pandora's box. This is the cookie jar. This is the rat line. This is the quote unquote, this is the smoking gun that leads you through the labyrinth, or what they will call the catacomb of skulls. This brings you to Skull Island. This is the quote unquote Pan's Labyrinth that takes you to Moloch and the Trilateral Commission's rituals on those islands. That's what this shit is. Because just on the surface, just what's been uncovered is an eye opener. It's a game changer. It should have stopped the motherfucking economy in its heels, and what it should have stopped. It should have caused some type of quote unquote mass uprising. You know what I mean? Considering how many people of power are being protected from alleged PDF, right? PDF, not regular trafficking, PDF files, like heavy PDF shit, right? The implications of Mossad, Maxwells, of course, the Clintons, the Prince Andrews, the Wexlers. It trumps all of that other shit in size, in comparison. The simple fact that a Donald Trump as your president would say, oh, that's just something that the Democrats made up, right? Was one of the most egregious statements that a sitting president has ever made against his people, let alone his base. And one of the main reasons why the implosion of MAGA could be heard around the world as we speak is pancaking like Building 7, floor after floor after floor after floor after floor, just pancaking, falling. All of these retards and these inbred, quote unquote, trailer trash that thought that they were voting for somebody who was supposed to protect the quote unquote children or protect the innocent or drain the swamp or bring some type of justice to America, just found out that they are underneath a dictatorship and authoritarian, that this is in fact Homelander, bitch. And you are in season 5 of The Boys. You've been checkmated. And the quote unquote, the inmates run the asylum. And he's emperor. And he got the Supreme Court with him. And it's Project 2025. And them crazy bald heads are going. Everything is going according to plan. That's why the stock market is doing great. That's why crypto has a run. It has some strong legs and whatnot. Everything is going according to plan. Don't let nobody fool you. Don't let nobody fool you. And they will have AI overlords, and they will have machine cities and whatnot, and they will be quote unquote protected by the most militarized force that you've probably ever seen in your lifetime. However, let's read this little thread. Pretend it's tomorrow at dawn and every truly incriminating scrap of the Epstein operation, because this is what Donald Trump is promising tomorrow. The flight manifests, the offshore ledgers, the surveillance hard drives, the sealed depositions, FBI's 302s, interagency memos has been leaked in one merciless torrent. What happens next? This is the scenario the United States government fears the most, as they should, because the day after that information hits the public sphere, the entire system is at risk of collapsing, and I don't believe this is hyperbole. Let's stop pretending that this was ever just about one degenerate with a private jet. The unredacted client list would name names across the political, academic, and entertainment spectrum. The exposure would obliterate the illusion of partisan politics. Left and right alike would be shown for what they are, twin faces of the same corrupted machine, lubricated by exploitation and protected by silence. We would have open calls for arrest, tribunals, or even international extraditions. There would be a colossal collapse of public faith in the electoral system, with lawsuits implicating state and federal agencies in the cover up. The real bombshell isn't that Epstein ran a trafficking ring, it's that he was allowed to operate it because he was running it on behalf of intelligence agencies, mostly likely elements of the CIA, MI6, and Mossad in some capacity. After all, Ghislaine Maxwell's father, Robert Maxwell, was a known Israeli asset as well as a Soviet asset. This is Gladio for the 21st century, except instead of bombs and train stations, the payload is child grape footage used to control presidents and CEOs. The mainstream media would face one of its greatest challenges, and many in the public would be deeply skeptical of their coverage. For years, rumors swirled that major news outlets soft-pedaled the Epstein story to protect powerful people. In fact, there's proof. In 2015, ABC News squashed a detailed interview with Epstein accuser Virginia Roberts Guthrie, who's dead now, who recently passed away, that implicated figures like Prince Andrew, Bill Clinton, and Alan Dershowitz. Years later, in 2019, a leaked video showed ABC anchor Amy Robach venting that her Epstein scoop was shut down by network executives and that Buckingham Palace pressured ABC not to run allegations about Prince Andrew. This leak will confirm many people's suspicions that legacy media protected the elite by suppressing the story. And if legacy media doesn't have it hard enough with the fact that the very man who they're protecting, who goes by the name of your president, Donald Trump, right? When he came out with fake media, but fake media was actually protecting him. They were all working together. This is all a sham and whatnot. The whole thing is a sham. But the biggest thing that shows you that it's a sham with in Technicolor in plain English is Jeffrey Epstein's case and everything involved in it. It will collapse the system. So they do not want this to take place. I look forward to see what it is that they're going to do to distract the people, to take them away from the fact that they can't get away from this. It's in too deep. It's in too deep. Okay? They are in too deep, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to see how they wiggle their way out of this one. But yeah, this is about to be game over for them. Rightfully so. Okay? Once the people lose complete faith in the media, it is over with, because that is one of their quote unquote arms of domination. That's how they keep the people completely in alignment, you know what I mean, underneath their mental trepidations, you know what I mean, their psyops, you know what I'm saying? Everything that they have people underneath right now in terms of the stupor that they're in, the majority of that is coming through their media. You know, so we're just watching the great fall in real time. Know what you're seeing, understand what it is, and sometimes when you do have the opportunity to applaud it, you feel me? Give it its grace, give it its appreciation. Let it know that you see what it's doing, the unraveling, the dismantling. You feel me? The demystifying of something that had people so encapsulated and whatnot, so punch drunk. Okay? But now you can quote unquote program and prompt your future. You don't gotta wait for nobody's future. So overstand that, please. If you don't know anything, if we don't walk away from this thing with anything, know that you have permission to program your future now, and it does not have to involve these people. They played themselves out of position and pocket. You know what I mean? The choice is yours now. Let's get a word from our sponsors, ladies and gentlemen.
Trumpet sounds of golden harps. I saw in a Zion these crystal balls of lightning.
Definition of a crystal: order, symmetry at the biological level. Melanin is a complex crystalline biopolymer. It is found in the nuclei of all cells, and concentrations of melanin may be found in the brain. Melanin is that X factor that opens up those subtle realms and means of communication. Again, intuition, clairvoyance, clairaudience. Yes, I.
Crystal balls of lightning, thunder in different heart, 4 and 20 Haitians around this. It was very cloudy, earthquake over the north and the south side, seraphim thrones and
Infinite Treasures LLC.com. Infinite Treasures llc.com and get yourself that copper drip. You know what I mean? They got ankhs, they got bracelets, they got talismans, they have rings, everything that you need. Infinite Treasures LLC.com. Tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow, mañana, class number 2 in the AAA workshop. Class number 2 in the AAA workshop with Spin City and Red Pillar. We have a 5-week workshop on the triple AI business, and the triple A stands for automation, agentic AI, and API monetization. All right, automation, agentic AI, API monetization. As you've seen, ChatGPT just released their agentic API today, right? So we are on par with this program and this workshop. We want you to fortify your business and your company or your brand and pick up the triple AI pack of AI tools, automation, agentic AI, and APIs. It will level up your business, it will level up your services, and it will level up your brand on this quote unquote information highway that we're on. Check out this commercial.
Triple ATM Master Workshop. Build and deploy the AI empire. Behind the world's next billion-dollar companies, the ultimate 4-week certification to dominate the age of AI with automation, agentic systems, and monetizable APIs. Stop being a spectator in the AI revolution. Build your own automated empire, deploy autonomous agents, and monetize your stack with real APIs in 30 days.
What if you could hire a 24/7 team of employees, developers, and marketers without paying a single salary? Welcome to the Triple ATM system, a complete AI, automation, and API training and deployment ecosystem for modern entrepreneurs, consultants, digital creators, and business owners who want to own the infrastructure of the future. In this 4-week live virtual master workshop, you'll go beyond prompts and ChatGPT and engineer the AI stack that powers high-profit, hands-free businesses.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Make sure y'all check that out. I'll drop the link. The link is in the description, but I will drop the link in the chat for everybody. And we also have this available. These are workshops that have already been done. These workshops are awaiting you to go ahead and check them out. There are 3 workshops in this bundle. These workshops will fully get you onboarded to a lot of the AI that's going on right now. Inside of this AI boom, it's multiple things going on inside of the AI boom. So fantasy complex industry, 1,000 income streams, and March Madness is the triple threat workshop. That is that's for y'all. You know what I mean? That's what me and Spin. Hours and hours of work. We got modules, we got courses. Go ahead and get your bundle, right? And then go ahead and sign up for these 5 weeks. So we will see you in class tomorrow. Zoom only. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to my Patreons. Zoom only. And yeah, that's what it is. We are signing out. And we will see you guys very, very soon. Peace, love, and light. Oh, yes. I'm sorry. Let me mention this. Let me not forget this. We have Proclamation Day in Atlanta, right? Let me pull up this address. Give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute. Boom. Love is the Medicine Proclamation Day. July the 19th, Creel Park, 3 to 7 p.m., 2775 Creel Red, like red pill, South Fulton, Georgia, 30349. All right. We're going to have a gathering. It's going to be Proclamation Day, right? For Love is the Medicine and the Twin Pillars. Okay. They have given us a Proclamation Day in our name. The city of South Fulton, they have given us a day. All right. So we have our own day. And we're going to be putting on for the children. We have a drum circle, food giveaway, book bags and school supply giveaways, face painting, bouncy houses, and more fun for the whole family. This is more than just a celebration. It's a movement to leave the community better than we found it. Come and be a part of the Love is the Medicine tribe, and let's make a lasting impact. All right. So we're going to have the drumming. It's going to be from 3 to 7. Volunteers arrive at 1:30. Creel Park, CREEL. If you live in the Atlanta area, if you live in the A, if you're looking to do something, we in College Park this Saturday, 3 to 7. Pull up and come and celebrate Proclamation Day with your peoples. I should have really promoted this more. I've been running around so crazy and whatnot that I haven't really given enough energy to it, but I will be there Saturday. I will be standing strong. I will be feeding the homeless on Friday. I'll be giving back to the community, doing my part, and just making great memories, making great experiences on that day. So shout out to anybody that shows up. I look forward to seeing you and building with you, and I will have merch on deck. You done know. You done know. And we're shooting a video for the music. We got a song called Proclamation Day. You done know. And it's a classic. You done know. So with that being said, we're going to end this with the 44 Tops. Oh, we might even have to play. Yeah, the 44 Tops on stage at the jump off on Saturday. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, we're going to let that ring. But with that being said, peace, love, and light. Make sure y'all leave some love. Buy me a coffee. Go ahead and buy me a coffee. Change it to buy me a book. The Mart 125, we have a back to school sale. Oh, Lord, I almost forgot. We have a back to school sale. Don't let me forget that, y'all. A back to school sale on all the drip. There's a lot of new drip on that site. The Mart125.com, 30% off of the store-wide sale. Promo code SCHOOL. All right. Shout out to my KTLians. The Mart 125 back to school, 30% off. Promo code is SCHOOL on the checkout. All right. So with that being said, peace, love, and light. Y'all stay dangerous. We will see you soon.
Red, blue, purple light. Red, blue, purple light. Friends, facts. Red, blue, purple light. Friends, red and blue, purple light. Friends, facts. You can get to know the ledger, sacrilegious Sunday to melanin Monday. You can get to know the ledger, my love. Just open your third eye on Thursday. Lord, the food, the art, the clothes, the Vatican's getting exposed fast. We put the show on the road. You better stay on your toes. I was till the land focused on the ego. Then I open my heart, let go of the ego. Grand after grand, we stacking up these C notes. Facts, facts, yeah. We gon' put this shit on our backs. Facts, facts, we ain't your city, pull up where we at. Peace, love and light. Peace, love to the family. Peace, love and light to the family. Peace, love and light to the family.
These days and time, black man, is going to be the time that you have been waiting for. You came here for a reason. Whatever pressure, whatever adversity, whatever the fuck you feel, I don't know what you feel, but whatever you may be feeling is going to push you, and it's going to provoke you, and it's either going to make you or break you, similar to how pressure busts pipes or the shit makes diamonds.